Guys, the Toyota GR Yaris has a critical flaw, and you only find out that flaw when you own the car. It's actually a very unrefined and agricultural product. Every part of the GR Yaris feels as if you've probably gone back a decade. Cars these days, German or otherwise, right? There was a time when German cars had that superior driving feel. When you got into a German car, you felt that bank vault type feeling, felt quality. But these days, guys, yes, German cars still do feel like that, but Japanese cars feel like that as well. I've got many Toyotas in the family, many other Japanese cars, Honda products, etc. A lot of them feel just as solid as German cars. So I think cars have come a long way where their engines feel smooth, transmissions feel smooth, the handling feels very smooth and numb, right? You can barely feel anything in the steering wheel, and that's what customers like and what they prefer. But the GR Yaris is opposite of all of those things. First of all, the engine, guys. The engine in the GR Yaris is very rough. Okay, it's a 3-cylinder motor, which is imbalanced by its nature, right? It's only 3 cylinders. To ease that out, Toyota have given it an extra hydraulic mount. But despite that, guys, don't get it twisted. This is one rough engine. But I'm going to give you a positive to that. You can feel all the cylinders banging away. The engine starts buzzing and vibrating through the car. It has such a characteristic, that motor. If you're an uninitiated, you'll think to yourself, what's going on? If you're initiated with cars, when you get in the Toyota GR Yaris, you'll pick up on the specialness immediately. Immediately, you'll feel that engine, you'll think, geez, that's an unrefined bit of kit. And then you'll drive it a little bit and you'll think, yeah, but it's unrefined in a Toyota way. They've done something here. If this engine was made by Alfa Romeo, maybe German manufacturers, you might doubt it. You might think, oh, is this thing gonna last? It doesn't sound right, it doesn't feel right. But when you put it in a Toyota, you realize that there's method to their madness. The second thing is the suspension of the car. In a German car, guys, the car handles and performs very well. But you're a couple of steps removed from the experience, right? You're driving it and it's performing excellently, and you think to yourself, wow, what a powerful, heavy machine, yet it's able to corner, and you're really enjoying that characteristic. With a German car, a lot of the characteristic and enjoyment comes out of you knowing that the car is heavy and that it's solidly built and it's a chunk of metal, yet it can do this cornering the way other cars can't. Even when I owned my BMW, that's something I really appreciated, where I thought, this is such a heavy car. It's a convertible. I own a convertible. I thought, how's it able to dance? Kind of like an MX-5. It doesn't make sense, but it was able to do it. That's the appreciation with a German car, but make no mistake, you are very far removed from the fun and very far removed from what's actually happening, especially in modern German cars. If you go back to old Benzes and old BMWs, especially into old BMWs, E46s, you'll have some of that feeling, but today it's very much dialed down. The Toyota GR Yaris, completely opposite. When you throw it into a bend, you know exactly the fact that the car is very light, and you know exactly that the car has a purpose, and it's going to tell you every single thing it's doing. You're not removed. You're not one step removed. You're about as close to the experience as a go-kart, which is so weird because it's a hatchback, right? I owned a Mazda MX-5 as well, in which you sit pretty much on the floor. Rear-wheel drive sports car, you sit on the floor. And I'm telling you guys, the GR Yaris gives you more experience than the Mazda MX-5, which is ridiculous to think, but that's how it is, despite being a hatchback. And again, that's something that can be daunting to a lot of people, because a lot of people enjoy being one step removed. I think I'm the same, guys. I don't want my steering to perhaps be as communicative, or my suspension to be as communicative. A lot of us these days are used to that dull experience, and it's the age of social media and gaming and AI and all of that stuff. We are very one step removed, and the GR Yaris does things very differently. And the final way in which the Toyota GR Yaris is flawed, just the way the car's interior is made. Toyota, make no mistake, it looks as if Toyota made no effort to change anything, especially on my Gen 1 car. The Gen 2 car, they made a lot of effort. But in my Gen 1 car, and I've had a loaner regular Yaris, this is pretty similar, guys. It's got humble roots. It's not trying to be something it's not. The places where it was needed, these seats that you're looking at, and I think these are some of the best looking seats. I was comparing them to my friend's Supra. These seats feel better, and I think they look better. They're beautiful. They've put it in the steering wheel, which is a beautiful shape. They've put it in the transmission, which again is, the transmission I have to point out, because the gear change, it feels clunky. It makes a bunch of noise. You hear it all, you feel it all. I'm gonna grab it by the scruff of the neck, right? You heard that phrase on Top Gear. I think Jeremy Clarkson said it, and I never understood quite what he meant until I got the GR Yaris. But it makes sense, because you gotta manhandle this thing, right? Grab the gear shifter, put it into third, put it into second, and it's just purposeful. It makes sense, but only for the initiated. So to summarize, guys, the Toyota GR Yaris is actually a highly flawed product. It's exactly because of those reasons it is such a special product. Looking at the statistics, and Andorra is a country in Europe, and it's a rich principality. It's a small country, and their number one selling car in 2024 was a Porsche 911, and their number 2 best-selling car was a Toyota GR Yaris. And guys, when you have the Europeans, and the GR Yaris is a very popular car in Europe, when you have the Europeans there who really admire their engineering, German engineering, Benz, Audi, BMW, Porsche, when you have them really getting behind a product like a Toyota GR Yaris, you know that Toyota's done something good. And I'll leave you with that note, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.